Ed Lee, a lawyer and affordable housing advocate who was the first Asian American to be elected mayor of San Francisco, died early Tuesday in a hospital there after collapsing. He was 65 and in the midst of his second full term. The cause was not immediately announced by his office. In a statement, the office said he died at 1:11 a.m. at Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital. Mr. Lee was in critical condition when he arrived at the hospital by ambulance shortly after 10 p.m. on Monday, according to Dr. Susan P. Ehrlich, the hospital's chief executive. Mr. Lee's family asked that further medical details not be released, she said. Local news accounts said Mr. Lee had collapsed while shopping at a supermarket. London Breed, the president of the Board of Supervisors, was named acting mayor. Dennis Herrera, the city's attorney, said the board can decide whether it wants to choose a replacement mayor before June, when an election will determine who will finish out Mr. Lee's term. He was re-elected in 2015. Mr. Lee was a symbol of the city's changing demographics, from a white majority to what the mayor called a majority of minority groups. Whites made up 42% of the population in the 2010 census, while Asians constituted a third of the population, Latinos about 15% and African Americans 6%. Electing its first Chin-SA American mayor was a milestone for a city that had a long history of discrimination against Chinese people. As mayor, Mr. Lee presided over a tremendous shift in wealth in the city, driven by the technology boom that put San Francisco at the center of global innovation. Rents soared to levels only the wealthiest could afford, an ironic development for Mr. Lee, who lived in a public housing project as a boy and began his career fighting for affordable housing. When he took office in 2011, the median home value in San Francisco was $656,500. Today it is about $1.25 million. A sharp rise in rents, the city's median rent is about $4,300, also pushed large segments of the middle class out of the city. Office rents in parts of the city rose higher than those in Manhattan. As mayor, Mr. Lee sought to maintain San Francisco as, in his words, an international beacon. People come here to innovate, they want to have the ideas, they want to challenge themselves with different languages and different cultures and be successful at the same time, he said. Edwin Ma Lee was born on May 5, 1952, in the Beacon Hill section of Seattle to Chinese immigrants who came to the United States in the 1930s. His mother was a seamstress, his father, a war veteran and a cook in a family restaurant, died when Mr. Lee was a teenager. He and his 5 siblings grew up in a Seattle public housing complex before his parents built a modest home, Mr. Lee told the Los Angeles Times in 2015. Helping with the restaurant's deliveries, he recalled, he heard customers castigate his father with racial slurs.